Yay! Some more fun. Yeah. Hello! Yay, everyone! Welcome, welcome! Welcome! Give people some time to arrive and to come online. Hello, everyone who's joining me here live. We have the full moon. Happy full moon, guys. And thank you to also for all of my live attendants here in Ubud. So it's really nice to connect. Perfect. And guys, feel free also if you're here online with me, feel free to interact. Feel free to also ask questions. And very excited to be connecting with all of you as well. So welcome. Thank you. Some new faces, some familiar faces. It's really great having 2 workshops in one day. And just keep meeting awesome people and all this fresh, beautiful energy coming in. It's so great, because as I was talking earlier in the previous workshop, about how we're all biologically designed and programmed to connect, because that's what our ancestors did. And just to come, everyone coming out of their caves and enjoying connecting again, talking again, feeling each other's presence again, and just talk, collaborate, share ideas, and to just feed each other's energy and space. So nice to feel that sense of support as well is really great. Sometimes, you can feel supported by someone by just having them present. They don't have to say anything, but you just feel their care, you feel their nurturing, and you feel their presence with you. And that sometimes is so priceless. And it's great that we can have that back in our lives again with everything that's opening up and changing. So a very, very big welcome to the full moon here with me. I'm live here in Bali, in Ubud, and we have a beautiful audience here with us as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about what's coming up for us here in the full moon. So as most of you know, how the moon cycles influences the ocean and the tides. But you've seen how amazing high the tides in the ocean can go during full moons. And if it can do that to the ocean tides, what is it doing to our bodies? Because our bodies is at least 60 to 70% water. Right? Have you ever thought about that? That's also why on full moons, sometimes new moons, people feel a little bit more antsy. We feel maybe a little bit more nervous, a little bit more maybe emotional. There's things coming up, things happening. And it's because this beautiful planet around us is actually having an impact and an influence on the emotional body. Now, as most of you know, we store emotions inside of the body as well. Because that's sometimes when you get a headache, when you had a really stressful day, you have many emotions, but you don't have time to process the emotions. And sometimes you get neck pain or you start to get a headache. Maybe you don't feel well, you just feel really tired. But we don't cognitively, consciously sometimes realize why we feel the way that we do. We only realize that something is not right when we don't feel well, because that's when we listen, right? We don't listen to the body when things are going well, right? We only listen when things starts to go wrong. We only listen when there's pain. We only listen when there's discomfort. I always say, as most of you here know with my videos also, I always say that pain is a call to action. But that's awareness of a problem. And awareness of problems is a problem to have solved. But now it begs the question, what is the other half of the action that's needed? So now we know there's pain. Now we just need to tap into tools and different ways of understanding and interpreting information in terms of how can we shift that pain. Because if there's physical pain, it means that there's emotional pain. But sometimes when we are so busy with life, we're masters at numbing ourselves. We're masters at, disassociating and avoiding, things that's going on in our life, especially if it makes us feel uncomfortable. So we have to look at what is our coping mechanisms. How do we cope with life? If something bad happens, sometimes we do something to avoid feeling it, right? We eat something, or we do an activity, or maybe we have a glass of wine, or maybe we cook something nice, or it's always an action that we take to try and create a certain amount of relief. We all do that, right? No one is involved in that. Even I sometimes do that too. It's a pattern, it's a habit. But these patterns, these habits that give us this slight little bit of relief can also become long-lasting bad habits that can become very unhealthy for us if we're not mindful of that. For example, if you feel maybe a lot of stress, exercise is great, right? It's a really good thing to do. But now if you try to exercise maybe 3-4 hours a day, oh, that can maybe now be a little bit too much, right? But the emotional euphoria of exercising is so great that you keep chasing that euphoria. But now the problem is, please come, guys, welcome. Happy to have you. Grab your yoga mats. And so we get stuck in that pattern. We get addicted to the emotional relief, and that's what we end up chasing. Because if you are in a state of distress for maybe a few days or a few weeks or a few months, now your threshold for stress becomes really high. It becomes almost like you start tolerating the stress quite a lot. But now when you have that little bit of maybe 5% of relief, that 5% of just, oh, I scream and now I feel better, or something happened, or I did something and it made me feel a little bit better. That action that you took, even if it's just that 5% of relief, that 5% feels so big because you've been in a place of pain for so long. Whereas if you did experience that little bit of 5% relief under normal circumstances, you probably would not even have noticed it. It's the same concept. Like, I love to travel. I travel a lot. So, well, at least I used to before COVID. And when I was traveling, I always made a rule that I will stay in like 1-star, 2-star hotels where you sometimes have to fight with bed bugs, and the rooms are not always clean, the sheets are not always washed. And then sometimes I will do that for a week, and then I'll stay in a 4-star hotel. Oh my God. Have you noticed like how much you will just enjoy that? How amazing it is to feel the clean sheets, a clean bath. Now we really appreciate it because we have the contrast. But the point that I'm trying to make is sometimes that contrast feels so great, it feels so relieving that you end up becoming almost addicted to that. And so what I would love to look with you for the full moon, hi everyone, welcome. For the full moon for today is to look at where in your life do you feel challenged, but you've numbed yourself to it. You are in a place of avoiding it. Because when we are in a place where something is so uncomfortable and so stressful, the body is designed to just automatically adapt. If it cannot find ways to cope with that stress, it adapts. And now sometimes adapting can be really unhealthy. And so when we look at, maybe, and you guys here online, you're welcome to interact. You're welcome to also, say what's going on for you on this full moon, what is coming up. Because as most of you know, the book Metaphysical Anatomy, this is what I wrote. And it's great to see kind of like the areas in our body where the stress is coming up, where we have been in a place of coping, where we have been in a place of just trying to survive and become stuck in a place of numbness. And then the only other way that the body has a way of communicating is through pain. It is through discomfort. It gives you a little bit of a shock. Sometimes it's even an ailment. And then we have to stop and look at what is going on. Did you want to move a little bit so I could also see you? I would love to also see you and connect with you. You're hiding. That's our hiding instinct. Maybe today is all about looking at where she feels challenged. Maybe she hides, or if she's shy, then she hides. Oh, it's the sun. You're welcome to come sit here. Yeah, it's in the shade. Please come. And you can come with her here, also in the shade. Yeah, it's maybe easier. It's hot there. All right, we're just getting situated. Okay. And so for me this week, what's been coming up really, really strong, where I also had to ask myself, where in my life am I numbing myself? Where in my life am I feeling so challenged, but I'm not taking the time to deal with the challenge? But now it begs the question, why are you not taking time to deal with something that's causing you stress? And instead we numb. Of course, it's easier. It becomes a coping strategy. We all do that. I do that too. And by the time I know it, I'm like, I'm on the phone. I'm like, and my massage therapist, like, can you come today? No, ma'am, I'm gonna come tomorrow. Can you? No, today. It's like because you feel that stress, you feel that pain, and I realized like, okay, all right, the massage is great, but let's also have a look at what's going on. What is it that's been happening that I failed to recognize? Because one thing that I've learned with, for those of you who are new, is, having worked with more than 6,000 people one-on-one, 40 countries, you start to understand and see patterns in people, right? If someone has now, for example, arthritis in their right hand and they live in Australia, and someone in Canada could also have arthritis in their right hand. And when you look at the emotional stress happening in their life, and also the emotional trauma and triggers, it's the same. It's the same. But they have different cultures, they have different values, they have different beliefs. So what's happening? It was a really cool discovery to see how it works. And it's because biologically we all respond to stress and trauma the same way. If you have certain emotional stressors or people or relationship dynamics that makes you feel a certain way over and over and over again, what we do is we numb ourselves to it. And when we numb ourselves to it, or we revert to different coping strategies, what happens is that the energetic body becomes out of alignment, because negative emotions causes a disruption energetically in the body, where you sometimes feel like blocked energy. Sometimes you feel just tension in the heart, but you don't have a heart problem, right? You just feel tension there. That's because of an emotional stress that's there. Now, if we look at the combination of that, right, we have emotions in the hippocampus. That's now in the brain. That's the emotional brain. We also have instinctive responses, which is just below the hippocampus. But what happens is when we have instinctive responses and emotional stress being triggered in the mind by us seeing the stress in our life, those signals run through our mind, our heart, and then to our gut. That's why you sometimes feel, oh, a part of me wants to do this, but my gut says no. Right? Because sometimes we have instinctive reactions and responses to people. Sometimes you've met people and you just go, oh, I don't know, I don't like this person, or this situation doesn't feel good. And you feel it in your body, but you can't explain it. You just know it. You just feel it. But you feel conflicted. Should I listen? Should I not? And that's because we have emotions and the instinctive responses running through the same path. And now, depending on where your emotional stress has been taking place in your life, it can get blocked. And these messages also gets delivered incorrectly. And sometimes these messages keep firing and they're firing and they're firing. And depending on the type of emotion that you have will also depend on the type of part in your body that starts to feel stress. So for example, I've noticed when people have problems with their mom, stomach, either ulcers, gastric acid, a lot of pain, a lot of bloatedness, or feeling a need to eat a lot to feel that sense of needing nurturing by mom, because maybe the nurturing was a little bit harsh. You can look at neck problems, feeling controlled by someone or your circumstances based on the direction that you want to move into your life. But you don't have the self-worth to say, no, this is what I want. You try to please everyone, and then you start having neck pain. Sometimes when you have a headache, it can be because you feel in conflict with your environment. There's too much happening, and you feel overwhelmed. Maybe you lost some kind of structure during the day. And all that stress is now accumulating. And normally headaches is based on exactly what is happening in your environment or what was priorly happening that day. Someone said something, or you're doing something that is in conflict with how you feel and where it is that you want to move into in your life. Or maybe something that you want to do that day. So there's some kind of conflict. And that conflict is not addressed by finding a solution, because that's all that the body wants. The body wants to have solutions. And the only way that it can create a solution is to get your attention. Right? Can we get books for these two ladies and also for her and for her? So you can have a look and maybe see what has been going on in your body, and maybe for them in the back as well, just to see what's been happening today. But just to reference today what's going on. Maybe you have stuff coming up, Because this book is in my head, so I know everything that's going on in here. And to see, where do you perhaps feel challenged? Like for me, a lot of my challenges, especially on this full moon, really showed up in my arms. I talked about that in the healing circle earlier today. It's really showing up for me in my arms, because my greatest challenge that I feel challenged with today is feeling that sometimes there's people in my life that just completely disrespects every single effort that I make to help and support, and feeling taken advantage of at the same time, and feeling now really angry about it. But now also realizing, well, maybe where was my boundaries within that? Where did I fail to have boundaries? Why was I giving so much in the first place? And then I was really feeling into it, and I realized that sometimes people misinterpret kindness for stupidity. Sometimes people misinterpret kindness as a weakness. People think, oh, that person's kind. Oh, I can just, take advantage. I'll always get away with it. They will never have boundaries. And I realized that I was trying to project a type of dynamic with someone who's not used to being treated with kindness. They're not used to being treated with kindness. And that kindness is interpreted as a weakness, and now being an opportunist, taking advantage of that. And so I was really feeling that emotional frustration today in my arms, deeply, deeply feeling it in my arms. Like my arms were vibrating. I was so sad. I was so upset. Like it just felt like it was just vibrating. And I realized that because when you look at the arms, it made perfect sense. It's all about feeling unable to control what you receive, but still wanting to give. It's that conflict between the two. And so today I decided to go for Muay Thai boxing for the first time in my life. So I was there 45 minutes, 3 minutes is bah, 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 and kick, and then push-ups, and then jump rope, you get a 1-minute break. And then again, 3 minutes, just bah, 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 and you go like that for 45 minutes. I'm telling you, I was flat on that floor today. Flat on that floor. But it was a good experience for me to actually physically release instead of energetically trying to release it, but just to physically get that fight instinct out as well. Because fight, sometimes you feel like you want to box a little bit, right? You want to, maybe get a bit aggressive, but that's not really my nature. So for me, it was a really healthy way to just kind of like get rid of that stress. And so what I would love to connect with you today, when you can look at the book, you're welcome. You can look at the table of contents now, actually. So let's have a look and see, maybe if you have physical tension right now, you can look at maybe where in your body do you feel that tension. And then you can look at the table of contents and you can go, do you feel tension maybe in the stomach or the leg or the back or the neck? And then you can go and read and see, what is your psychosomatic message that's coming up right now? And if you don't have pain, who does not have physical pain right now? You? Do you have some physical tension or pain? No? That's okay. So what we'll do is we'll look at the emotional stress and then see where in your body do you feel the emotional stress. And then we can look at what is the psychosomatic meaning of that pain. So we can do it that way as well. So if you don't have physical pain, what we will do right now is just all take a nice deep breath. And for those of you who do have physical pain, keep reading. Okay, nice deep breath, everyone. I love to take a nice deep breath because it resets the frontal cortex and it tells the body, the nervous system, to relax. Okay. And now, I invite you now just to observe your life. You can keep your eyes open or you can close it. But I invite you now to observe your life in the here and now, as it is been unfolding, perhaps this year or this week. And I invite you now to feel and observe and to look. Where in your life do you feel really challenged with something right now? It can be anything. Maybe it's a person that you just feel tired of dealing with. Maybe it's a negative pattern and habit that you're just tired of, being stuck in, but you don't know how to shift it. Maybe it's like you're in a relationship and you're just tired of it. You just feel challenged by it. Maybe it's something from the past that has just been really bothering you, just really bugging you, and you haven't fully shifted. I'm just going to give you a minute now to feel into that. And I invite you to be honest with yourself because this is an internal process. There's no one to disrupt your process or to invade it in any way, shape, or form. And I invite you now, as you're observing that challenge, you're becoming aware of the emotional discomfort, tension, or stress. Where in your body do you feel that emotion? Maybe you feel the emotion in the form of tension or maybe heaviness, or you just get a sense like I feel it maybe around my stomach area, or maybe it's around my neck, or maybe I feel the presence in my head or my neck. And be playful, have fun with this. There's no wrong or right way of doing it. It's almost like where's the starting point of that emotion? And the best thing and first step to do right now is to just be okay with that challenge being there right now. Be okay with it. Completely surrender and let go of resisting. Because the more you resist it, the more you are locking it into your emotional body. It's almost like giving that stress, that discomfort permission to just be there. Let it be there. And for some of you here, even here, if you just purely feel uncomfortable because you're not 100% sure what to do or how to connect to that discomfort. That's perfect. It's inviting you now to hear, feel, see, or sense a beautiful ball of light above your head, which represents your consciousness, your higher awareness. And allowing that ball of light to drop down, 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 down into the area of your body where you feel that stress, where you feel that discomfort. And allowing any message that's there to come forward right now. Let go of thinking about it too much. Just one, two, three, boom, what does it say? Maybe it shouts at something. Maybe it says something. Maybe you see someone's face or you hear a voice. Perfect. So we have people here online also saying that they want to exercise more, but not feeling the motivation at the moment. Perfect. So you're going to tap into the lack of motivation, feeling the challenge of that lack of motivation. Someone else here said anxiety. Perfect. Allow the anxiety to be there. And now I invite you, we're going to do something a little bit different today. I invite you to surrender to how you feel. Whatever that discomfort is right now, pretend, imagine it is just melting into your body and out of your body. Instead of trying to reject it and push it out, bring it in. Let it be there. And what you might find and realize is as you do that, it starts to dissipate. And that's because allowing is the opposite of resistance. And it's in that place of allowance that the body can release. How can you heal and release if you are in a place of resistance? Just feeling how it's flowing through the body. And I'm gently going to start the crystal balls now as well. And I'm going to continue to guide you through this healing session. And I invite you now just for a few more minutes. Be in that place of surrender. Let it flow through you and out of you. And if you want to lie down, you're welcome to lie down. You can lie down. Whatever is comfortable for you. If you want to sit up, you can. If you want to lie down, you can lie down. Talk you through everything step by step. I wanted you to go through the book as well, but everyone started the healing process so fast. I'm like, okay, we're going to just go with this. You're doing great. You're doing great. And continue to allow that stress, that challenges or discomfort that you feel. Surrender to it. Let it flow through you and out of you. Down, 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 down into the earth. Now I invite you now to observe this challenge. I invite you to realize that as of right now, in this very present moment, that challenge is in the past. Even if it's just an hour in the past, 5 minutes in the past, it's in the past. Actions that were taken, words that were exchanged, it's no longer real. It's now a passing memory. Yet how you feel about it, that is what makes it feel real. I invite you just to sit with that realization just for a few seconds. As you're doing that as well, allowing a beautiful light, a beam of light to flow from your head down your body, down, 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 into the area where you felt that old challenge from the past. Hearing, feeling, seeing, and sensing how that beautiful light is resolving and dissolving all that old stress that's being held in your body. Dissolving and dissolving. Feeling how your body is becoming lighter and lighter and lighter. Lighter and lighter and lighter and expanding. Feeling freer in the absence of this old challenge. I invite you to connect to your body and continue to tell your body, you are safe. You are safe. In this very present moment, you're safe. And the reason why we're saying that you're safe is that the biological body is always looking for circumstances and people that makes it feel unsafe. And sometimes old memories can make it feel unsafe. Now we're just allowing the body to remember and recognize that you are safe in this present moment. invite you to also perhaps just observe where that old challenge or old discomfort was in your body. To also just recognize that we are expressions of our ancestors. That every single emotion that we have felt so far in our life has also been experienced by them. And that there are all these beautiful predispositions of emotions and their experiences that's also running through our biological makeup. Also coming to the surface. I invite you now to acknowledge the difference between your identity and ancestors who also felt this old challenge that you experience. Releasing their experiences and memories from your body and your mind, and still respecting and honoring what they've been through. However, letting go any part or aspect of that being expressed through you right now. Just feeling how it's just draining into the earth, just out of your body, just down, 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 down. Just allowing this beautiful flow and the power and the full moon to come through you, through every single cell in your body. Because the full moon is all about breaking down what is no longer serving you in your life. Whether it's a relationship, a person, a pattern, a habit, a thought. Now is the time to allow that beautiful energy to flow through you. Allowing it to support and assist you to release all the stress from this old challenge. together we will affirm positive affirmations, and all that you have to do is listen to my voice. I call my power back from this old challenge. I call my power back from people who challenged me in the past. I call my power back from people who challenged my boundaries in the past. I reclaim my inner child. I call my playfulness back. I call my power back from the times when I failed to believe in myself. I call my power back from stressful circumstances, which is now in the past. When you're ready, we're going to breathe in what's called the alpha brainwave state. We're going to release and reset the nervous system to help you just discharge that last little bits and pieces of stress that's in the physical body. We're going to take a nice deep breath in the mouth, out the nose, in the mouth, out the nose, in the mouth, out the nose, mouth, out the nose, in the 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 mouth, out the nose. Pick up the pace, in the mouth, out the nose, 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 in the mouth, and hold your breath. Nice deep breath and hold. Allowing yourself to drop into that dizziness. Allowing yourself to drop into that silence. It's coming forward. Feeling a beautiful light flowing from your head down your body, out your feet, anchoring you into the earth, balancing you. And just taking a nice deep breath. And just staying there as you are. Just being with yourself. Just checking in with yourself. How am I? How do I feel right now? How do you emotionally feel? How do you physically feel? And also observe perhaps what is new in you right now. What feels different? Ready? You can start to stretch, wiggle your toes, your hands. And remember, left side is feminine, right side is masculine. Just see and feel which side you relate to most, and then you can turn to that side of your body. When you're ready, you can slowly come up. Good. I see a lot of smiles. Perfect. Very good. How are you? How was that? Good. Did anyone want to share? Did you have any aha moments, any insights? For those of you who are live here, you're welcome, Linda. Anyone want to share? You can. If you don't, that's perfect as well. And so, one thing that I would love to leave you with is also to know and understand that, especially with this full moon, when there's something in your life that you feel challenged with, first of all, the cognitive understanding and awareness of realizing that whatever it is, there is such a big aspect of that that is already in the past. I understand that sometimes there's things that you have to deal with and brings it back into the present moment. But until you deal with it, it's still in the past. And the power is in the here and now. It's how we deal with it. It's how we show up in relationship to that. And those conscious choices, that's where your power lies. And for me, what helps me deeply is when I look in my current circumstances and I think and I look to myself, Evette, just notice how many resources and options and choices you have right now compared to maybe 10 years ago. I love to always have a reference to things in my life to help you to consciously understand the progress that you have made despite how you feel in the here and now. And that for me personally lifts me up tremendously. So I'm going to leave you with that conscious hack. And a very, very big thank you for being here with me today. It's full moon. It's an intense day. There's a lot of energy. There's a lot of things coming up, sometimes a lot of triggers coming up. And allow the moon to just take away and destruct what needs to go. That's what the full moon does. Then we have the cycle of the new moon coming in where we can build something new. We can build new values, belief systems, new strategies, build new structures. So I want to give you a really, really big thank you for being here with me live today. Thank you for your love, your time, your energy, your presence as well. It's always a pleasure to have you here in person. And also a big thank you to our beautiful virtual friends that came here also in live here with us. Thank you for being here. And until next time, be the light that you are. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.